Everybody hear me okay? I think so. I can hear myself pretty well. All right, so thank you again for having us today at Wellfest. Thank you for the introduction. Today I will be talking about synergistic muscle testing, what it is, how it works, why we do it. So I'm just going to jump right in and make you maybe a little bit uncomfortable. Who here wants to be a demo? Anybody? Oh, a couple people. Now I got to pick. All right, I'll have you come up front. So we're going to jump right into what it is, how it works, why we do it, and I'm going to have, what's your name? Elizabeth be our demo while we do this. So have you heard of muscle testing before?
Yes.
You experienced it before?
Yes.
All right. Who here has heard of it? Who here has experienced it? Couple. All right. Who is completely unfamiliar with it? All right. That's awesome. I'm glad that everybody's heard of it, has experience with it. So I'm going to show you real quick what it is, and then we're going to jump into what it is, like why it works, why we do it, how it helps. So you're kind of tall, I'm kind of short, so bring your arm straight out, and I'm going to lower it here so that it's at my level. When we're muscle testing, what we want to do is establish communication with your nervous system so that your nervous system can give us answers as to imbalances in the body. So why do we pick your nervous system? Because it's innate, it's intelligent, it's connected from everything head to toe, and it's going to give us answers about where we have imbalances, toxicities, deficiencies, and then what we can do to rebalance the body. So yes, it is called muscle testing. We're using a muscle to give us that communication way to the body, but we're not actually talking about like muscle strength. We're not going to arm wrestle today or anything. So what I'm going to show you is how we do it first, and then we'll get into the handout and the slides up top. So I send a signal to her nervous system by placing a little bit of pressure on her arm. Do you feel my pressure? Her arm is staying strong and it's not dropping. You feel how your arm locked into place. So it's like a telephone call. I send a signal, push, her nervous system says lock your arm, don't let her push it down. We're matching each other evenly, we're not arm wrestling. So that's called a locked muscle. This is all you ever have to do during a visit is hold your arm out, relax your body, open your mind, and let your nervous system do the talking. Sometimes we get an unlocked arm, and I'll show you the difference there. And that's not good, bad, right or wrong, locked versus unlocked, strong versus weak. So I want to show you what that feels like and that you don't have to resist it. So for this demo, I'm going to place my finger at the bridge of your nose. Is that all right? Mm-hmm. All right, so we're going to show a locked muscle where I send a signal. Her nervous system tells her arm to lock. I'm going to come off of it, flip my finger around, and her arm doesn't lock. Am I pushing harder? No. Do you feel the difference between locked and unlocked?
Yes.
Awesome. So this is the way our nervous system will communicate with the body. So it's like a polarity, right? A battery has a positive and a negative side, or think of it like a magnet. One side sticks, flip it around, the other side doesn't. So it's just telling her nervous system to respond locked one way, unlocked the other way. Thank you for your demo. Appreciate it. So I just want to show you what it looks like and how it's done first, and now we can jump in. What is muscle testing? It's a way to receive answers from the body about what the body is telling you that it needs or doesn't need, and what it's asking of you, right? And so our nervous system is innate. It's built into us. It governs everything in our body from head to toe. So it gives us answers. So this is one of the reasons I love muscle testing as a modality, because it puts you back in charge of your health. What else is muscle testing? It's an evaluation of our electrical system. So our nervous system is our electrical system. It's electric. It's based on frequency. So I have a frequency, you have a frequency, this podium has a frequency, plants have frequency, and frequency will resonate with like frequency or not. So when her arm stayed strong, something was resonating strong. If it doesn't resonate, we get the drop. So it's an evaluation of the electrical system. It's a biofeedback mechanism that can help identify the root cause of stressors in and around the body. So getting to the root cause of issues rather than putting a band-aid on a symptom. A lot of people will come to us with symptoms thinking that's the cause. How do I fix this, XYZ? And I'll say, well, that's not the cause. We want to get to the root cause. Why do you have this symptom? So we get down to the root cause issue, and then we're going to offer holistic alternative solutions rather than prescriptions. So a lot of times we get patients come to us and they might be on this long list of prescriptions. My first question is, how do you feel? Most of the time, it's okay. I feel okay. I don't feel like it's helping. It helps when I take it, but when I stop, it doesn't. So what we want to figure out, again, is that root cause, that we're not just putting a Band-Aid on that symptom. What else is muscle testing? It's an observation of the body for a response or stimulus. So just like I demonstrated, locked arm, unlocked arm, this is just showing you that the nervous system will communicate back to us. It's an expression of energy that resonates or doesn't, helping identify the root cause. And so we talk about energy and frequency because as muscle testing practitioners, we are not treating or diagnosing you. And so we're dealing with frequency and energy and what resonates and what doesn't resonate. What changes the response of your nervous system versus what doesn't change the response. So we're not licensed medical professionals. We are not allowed to treat or diagnose you. And I always tell our patients in the most polite, compassionate way, we don't care what your diagnosis is. We care to hear your symptoms and your experiences and how you're feeling. We care that you don't feel well and that maybe you're not getting answers from traditional medicine. But with your diagnosis, we're not treating it. What we're doing is raising your health to optimum. So think about, we call it the terrain theory. So the terrain, your internal environment, your internal body, what is that like? And how can we make it optimum? Now, I am not a gardener by any means, but if we think about terrain and gardening, we have to have everything optimum in order to get a good harvest. So the soil's got to be nutritious, it's got to be hydrated, it's got to have sunlight, and it's got to have its vitamins, minerals, nutrients. It's got to be free and devoid of toxins. This is what we're doing to the body. We are taking away the environment where your diagnosis can thrive, and we're raising your health to optimum so that these things can't exist anymore. Does that make sense? Yeah. So how do we muscle test? I already did the demo. So we're establishing communication with the nervous system. The most common of the area of the body to test is the arm. So when you come into the office, you're usually lying on the table with your arm straight up. If you can't lie, you can sit, you can stand, just as I showed today. And we use the arm reflex as that lever to show us how the nervous system is responding. The person being tested will hold their arm straight up if they're laying down. Pressure is applied to the person's arm. And while their nervous system is being negatively affected, the muscles will weaken. If it's being positively affected, it will stay strong. Again, depending on the portion of the test that we're doing. Weak, strong, locked, unlocked, not good or bad. It just depends on the part of the test that we're doing. We can also do this remotely. And so that might sound interesting, weird, maybe not even possible. How does this happen remotely? It's because we're dealing with frequency and energy. And so if we think about the way our cell phone works or a radio tower works, right? I can call any one of you, you're right next to me, you're going to get the call right away. I can also call China across the world and they're still going to get the call right away. Think about a radio tuner. There's a tower somewhere that's emitting a frequency. You're in your car somewhere else tuning the dial in. When those two frequencies begin to line up, the energies connect, we hear the radio station. So because we're dealing with energy, we can do this remotely over the phone, over a Zoom video, and energy doesn't know time or distance. And so we can connect with people all around the world. We do have patients in Australia, I think Oklahoma, I think maybe, but all over the place we can do this. Why do we do muscle testing? Identify the root cause and provide holistic solutions. So again, a lot of people coming in think that what they have, their symptom, their diagnosis is the issue. And if we can simplify to the most basic level, toxicity is the root cause of most everything. So when we have a toxicity in the body, whether it be heavy metals, chemicals, parasites, bacteria, viruses, we have a toxicity in the body, that's going to invite in more bacteria, more parasites. That toxicity is the food for those things. So we're feeding our bugs when we're toxic, and we're inviting those bugs in. And then the bugs, they're going to gobble everything up, good and bad around it, and create a deficiency. So we want to figure out, get to the root cause. Where are we toxic? Where are we deficient? How can we restore balance to the body? The second one, this is probably my favorite one, it unlocks your body's innate intuitive wisdom. So many of us, myself included, don't even realize what our triggers are, what makes us feel bad. When I was younger, I remember going out to eat to a restaurant, and every time I'd run home and have to go straight to the bathroom, and I never put together that dairy was a sensitive food for me. It was just, I just thought the food was greasy, or the restaurant, their food was bad. I never put together. So when you start to tap into your own innate design and your intuitive intelligence, you can start to really listen to what your body is telling you. Releasing the subconscious emotions, blockages, toxicities, previous experiences, memories, beliefs, traumas, physical and emotional. So this is a huge thing. So I talk about toxicities and deficiencies in the body, and that's not just physical. It can be emotional as well, because again, we're talking about energy, we're talking about frequency, and emotions have frequency as well. So all know how you feel when you feel sad, depressed, low energy, lethargic, maybe some brain fog, or when you're happy, more energetic, you have just that higher vibe, right? And so emotions get trapped in the body as well. It is my personal belief that we can only heal to the level of our emotional healing. So a lot of times we might get stuck on a patient in the office where we've seen some progress physically, and then we kind of plateau. Let's dig in emotionally. Where do we have to clear some of that negative energy? Rebuild optimum health where disease cannot thrive. Empower yourself. It's non-invasive, it's safe, accurate, and effective. So then this is a little diagram of our nervous system, and you can see how it affects every tissue, organ, gland in the body, head to toe. So at a visit, you get a consultation, which is 2 parts. You come in for a health history,